Health is such an important aspect of creating a life that we absolutely love. And anytime that we're not feeling well, or maybe we are experiencing an illness or even a disease, this is not a punishment. It is an invitation to focus our attention on what our body is trying to tell us. Many of the times, an illness is something that needs to be healed within us. It could even be as simple as changing a belief. Today, I want to invite you into a topic that is very personal to me. And when we experience an illness, it can completely throw our life off of track. Maybe you are going through something right now. Maybe you know someone who is struggling with cancer or some sort of disease that is completely derailing their ability to embrace the fullness of life. Or maybe you've been experiencing something and you want to recover. Maybe you've just accepted an illness in your life and you feel like there's no way out. So I want to preface the conversation today with the fact that this is not in any way, shape, or form replacing medical advice or medical support. I do want to shine light and awareness on how important of a part our mindset plays on our everyday health and healing. And so today I want to talk to you about our mindset. And our mind, our body, and our spirit are intertwined. And they're not as separate as we think. And so whenever there is an illness or disease present, or even a pain, whether this is a headache or a backache, this is our body's way of getting our attention so that we can heal and take care of ourselves and experience optimal health and a full life that we absolutely love. And when I'm talking about mindset, I want to illustrate the power of the mind through two stories of people that I personally know. So one of the stories that I heard years ago by a mentor of mine that really opened up my awareness was the story of Mary Morrissey and her ability to heal from a diagnosis that she received when she was only 17 years old. Now, you may or may not know of Mary Morrissey, but she is living a full life in her mid-70s right now. But there was a time where she didn't think that she was going to live past her 18th birthday. Now, Mary grew up in a conservative time where having a teen pregnancy was really looked down upon. And when she got pregnant before her senior year of high school, not only did she quickly get married, but she lost her good friends and she was not allowed to attend the high school for her senior year, where she had been homecoming queen the year prior. She also felt like her mother mourned her life, essentially, the life that she had envisioned for her daughter. She cried. All of these things Mary took on as a burden. And she did give birth to her son. And shortly thereafter, she found herself in the intensive care unit being diagnosed with kidney failure, only given a few months to live. Now, she was going to have surgery and have one of her kidneys removed in effort to give her some more time. But either way, all the medical experts were telling Mary that she did not have more than a few months to live. So the night before the surgery, and as she laid in her hospital bed, a chaplain came in. And the chaplain had a conversation with her about the thoughts that she was having up until that point. And through the conversation, she realized that Mary had inflicted so much self-hatred towards her for losing her friends, for not being able to go to her high school, her beloved high school, her senior year, for feeling like an embarrassment and a failure in her parents' eyes, especially her mother's. And the chaplain gave her guidance and direction of what to do moving forward. And the plan that they put in place was that she was going to imagine that all that hatred was going to be put in that kidney, and all those thoughts were going to be put in that kidney that was going to be removed the next day. And then once she came out of surgery and she got past the pain, when her thoughts came in and started going down those well-worn pathways of self-hatred, she was going to stop those thoughts and put her mind on the vision that she had should she live. And her thoughts were that she was going to walk her son down the hallway towards his kindergarten classroom, and then Mary was going to become a teacher herself. She was also going to imagine that she was going to witness her son walking across the high school stadium, seeing him graduate from high school. And then the third image that she was going to put her focus on was being at her son's wedding, seeing him marry the love of his life. So she put that plan into place, and she actually started to get better. Medical experts could not explain what had happened, but they told her, as they saw her numbers improving, to keep doing what she was doing. And Mary had a full recovery. Now, this is a beautiful story of the mindset playing a positive part in our life. And some thoughts we may not even be aware of. And so that's why it's so important to do the work of being aware of our thoughts. And so I want to do, before I go into another story, I want to do a quick exercise to help you increase your awareness of your thoughts. So if you are able, and of course, if you're driving and listening to this, you can do this at another time. But either way, I want you to listen to this. And I invite you to listen to this. And if you are able to, I invite you to close your eyes. So let's close our eyes. And I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. And do that 2 more times. And out. And breathe in. And out. And this breathing helps us to relax. It helps us to move from fight, flight, freeze mode to rest, digest, and create mode. And keeping your eyes closed, I want to invite you to bring your attention to your feet. Are they in socks? Are they bare? Are they in shoes? Pay attention to your feet. And now I want you to bring your attention to your knees. Are they bent? Are they straight? Bring attention to your knees. And now I want to invite you to bring attention to your stomach. Just let your attention stay there at your stomach. And now we're going to move our attention to our shoulders. Are your shoulders bending forward? Are they straight? Are they tense? Bring your attention to your shoulders. And now I want you to bring your attention to the top of your head. All right, let's do one more deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth like we're breathing through a straw. And then I want you to open your eyes if you have closed them. So that is utilizing your observer self. You just observed your feet, your knees, your stomach, your shoulders, and your head. You can do the same thing with your thoughts. So the more we observe our thoughts, the more we become aware of our thoughts. And I encourage you, anytime you recognize a thought that is leading you down the path of putting yourself down, of being negative in any way, whether that's towards yourself, your life, your ability to bring in the life that you would love, or even towards others, I invite you to write it down. And first, we want to become aware of it. Then we want to become aware of how it's not serving us. And then we want to replace it with a more empowered thought. And so this is exactly what Mary did. She became aware of her thoughts. She recognized how it was not serving her. And then she created more empowered thoughts. So we don't understand all the complexities of an illness, a disease, or even a pain that we may be experiencing in our body. But the power of the mind, because our mind, our spirit, and our body are interconnected. The power of our mind is real. And so this is not about placing blame. This is about growing in our awareness so that we can use our mind to help us create a life that we would love. And that includes health. Because even as much as we want to achieve various different types of success in our life, if we don't have our health, we don't have much of anything. We really want to create optimal health in our life. And so I want to share another story that's even more personal to me. And I want to really express compassion towards everyone who has experienced an illness, experienced a loss of a loved one due to illness, because we don't understand the journey, the personal journey of someone's life. And so again, this is not to place blame. This is using this example to increase our awareness. And so the story that I'm about to share is of a dear friend of mine. Let's say her name is Cindy. So Cindy and I knew each other since elementary school. And we actually didn't get close until our 10th grade year in high school, when we actually had 7 of our 8 classes together. Cindy and I had competing lemonade stands. We had the same crush in 8th grade, and we really didn't click until we ended up spending time together on a project in English class. And the more we got to know each other, the more we realized that we had a lot in common and we really enjoyed each other's company. So Cindy had one of the biggest hearts that I knew. She was a magnet to bringing in friends. She was present for people. She was the life of the party. And she had a way of lifting other people up that they felt seen. Now, like many people, Cindy also had her demons. And when I'm talking about demons, whether you actually think there are demons or not, it's really those beliefs, those stories, those thoughts that we carry within us. And I can't speak of Cindy's entire journey. I know that she was very well loved, even amongst all this beautiful love and friendship and joy. I know that she also experienced pain. And for whatever reason, she found a bump before she was 40. And I remember her calling me up to let me know that she was diagnosed with cancer. And to have someone that is so full of life be given a diagnosis like that was almost hard to conceive. It was hard to conceive, actually. It was very hard to conceive. And her cancer did go into remission. And she had a beautiful family, a husband who loved her very much, and a little boy. And she had so many friends to support her in her journey. And of course, her family, her parents, and her brother. I wish that I would have had the awareness that I have now. And maybe it would not have changed the ending to her story. But I'm sharing it with you today because maybe it will be helpful to you. So when the cancer came back, she was willing to fight it still. She had just bought a new house. She moved closer to her family. And she was building a life. Unfortunately, the cancer kept getting worse. And I was living in New Jersey and she was in Virginia. And I flew down to spend a weekend with her. And she was clearly very ill at this point. And we spent time, just her and me, and we were talking, and she wanted to live. I know she wanted to live. She told me as she was moving into her home, which she had just moved into within the past year, she told me as she was hanging things up on the wall that she had the thought, what if I'm not here this time next year? And I could feel how profound that thought was. I didn't know what to say. It was so profound. After I left her home and flew back to New Jersey, unfortunately, her cancer turned for the worse and she passed away. Now that I know the power of the mindset, I understand that having a thought like that, it's not the sole reason for her departure. But when we have thoughts like that, it plants seeds in our subconscious. And so having thoughts of our future when we're not feeling well, of our health, even when we're being diagnosed with something that could be fatal, of visions of us living a full life, of having happy moments and really feeling them, can be a turning point for our health. Our words are energy. Our subconscious listens to every what if. Even Nelson Mandela, when he was in prison, he had a thought, what if this moment is a turning point of being able to end apartheid in Africa? What is your what if? What is your what if? When we receive a diagnosis, what if this is a moment where I realize that my life is so valuable, and this is just something to wake me up so that I can live a long, happy, full life and go for my dream. So, where Mary focused on life and possibility, Cindy's thoughts, perhaps unconsciously, aligned her with the possibility of departure. Both demonstrate the incredible influence of our inner dialogue. And so I want to invite you to increase your awareness of your thoughts and to replace those thoughts that do not serve you with thoughts that empower you and help direct your mind, your body, your spirit towards a life, a healthy life that you would absolutely love living. So instead of thoughts like, what if I'm not here? Or what if I die? I invite you to replace those thoughts with, I am here, healing and growing stronger every day. I am here, healing and growing stronger every day. I invite you to use visualization, to close your eyes and meditate, and picture your body working perfectly, in perfect harmony. Imagine your cells healing, being renewed. Imagine yourself living out 6 months, a year, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years. What would you love to be doing when your body is healed and you wake up feeling energized and excited to live your day? What are you doing then? Write it out. Take out that journal and write out the life that you would love in perfect, optimal health. And spend time. I invite you to spend time each day meditating. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Because as you take that time to quiet your mind, to bring in empowered thoughts, to bring empowered images in, and you feel how it feels to be alive, to be healthy, to be energized, to be happy, connected, joyful, abundant. That is bringing that energy into your cells. Into your life. And I know that sometimes the moments are easier to do this than others. I understand how heavy at times these health challenges can be. And we want to honor where our body is. We also don't want our mind to stay there. We want our mind to start bringing us into a more joyful and empowering place. Because life is a gift. And we were given this gift for a reason. And again, we may not all be meant to live long lives, but we all deserve to live a life to the fullest. And if I can help one person to increase their awareness of their thoughts and to change their experience from one of failing health to thriving health through the use of improving your mindset, improving your thoughts, visualizing yourself living a life with futuristic experiences that you would love to experience, then that is my purpose today. And if you would like support, I am a certified coach, and I would be happy to have a complimentary call with you. My information is in the description. Feel free to reach out to me and schedule a complimentary call. Because you deserve to live a life that you love. You can do it. I believe in you. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to click subscribe so you can hear future episodes. I don't want you to miss out on any of the insight and inspiration that I am bringing my audience. Also, if you know anyone who could benefit from this episode, please be sure to share it with them. And if you'd like to hear more, be sure to check out this video.